All right, I found this little template for a literary analysis essay online, and I really like it. So this is the one that we are going to use for our very own essays. And for this part, this little part in blue here, this is the part that we are going to go through kind of right now. We're going to talk about our hook, and we're going to talk about our thesis. Okay, just like this says, the order's not important. All right, you have to make choices even when there's nothing to choose from. This is from a Hungarian writer and performer, Peter Szalahi. All right, when we are working on our hook, you have to find the perfect hook for your essay even when you don't know what to write. Strategies for writing your essay hook. Use a literary quote. Use a quote from a famous person, just like I did. Surprise your reader with a misconception. A misconception is thinking that is incorrect or wrong. Um, you know, like I said, surprise your reader when you say something that's absolutely wrong. That's just wrong. Surprise your reader. That's why it says surprise your reader with a misconception. Use an anecdote. Use a personal story. Use statistical data, which, I don't know how you would fit that in here to one of our short stories, but hey, if you can, feel free. Share a fact or a definition, and start with your thesis statement. Absolutely okay, which is why it said that the order was not necessarily important, okay? Excuse me. Okay, so the thing that's very important to tell you is that you can use any of these things for your hook. But the thing is that important is that you have to relate anything that you use here to the story that you're using. So if you use a literary quote, you can use the literary quote from anybody that you know, any author, any other story that you know, but it has to relate back to the story that you're writing about. You can use a quote from a famous person. You can even use a quote from like Jay-Z or Drake or, any, Lizzo or whatever, anybody you want, as long as it relates to the story that you're writing about. Okay? Anything, an anecdote, which is it's kind of a short story, that, like I said, use that, but it has to relate to the story. Goodness, I don't know what's wrong with me. But it has to relate to the story. Use something from your own personal story. Something that speaks from you about the story. Like I said, I don't know how you would use statistical data, but hey, throw something out there. Okay? And the thing about statistical data, what I used to always tell my sophomores when we wrote the argumentative or persuasive essay is nobody's going to fact check you. Make junk up. Nobody's going to fact check you. When you write your EOC essay, nobody's fact checking you. Share a fact or a definition. I really don't suggest using a definition like Webster's Dictionary says, because that's really very, very ninth grade, very EOC like, and I don't recommend that at all. Fact, yes. A surprising fact, yes. A definition, not really recommended. Or, like it says, starting with your thesis statement for sure. Okay? How do you develop a perfect thesis statement? It is possible, and it's not really as hard as you think. The topic that you're writing, man, the topic that you're writing about, your position, plus the why statement. Remember, I talked about the why statement in those 5 steps, equals your thesis statement. Okay? Here's an example. And I found this stuff online. The thesis may focus on an analysis of one of the elements of fiction. Fiction, drama, poetry, or nonfiction as expressed in the work. Now, Our stories are all fiction, okay? You can talk about character, plot, structure, idea, theme, symbol, style, imagery, tone. Those are all things that we talked about that you could talk about, okay? In A Worn Path, Eudora Welty creates a fictional character in Phoenix Jackson whose determination, faith, and cunning illustrate the indomitable human spirit. Note that the work, author, and character need to be analyzed, or to be analyzed, are identified in this thesis statement. The thesis relies on a strong verb, creates. It also identifies the element of fiction that the writer will explore, the character, right here, and the characteristics the writer will analyze and discuss. Determination, faith, and cunning. See? So this is a character analysis. We obviously know that. And the author, not necessarily she, this author, Eudora Welty, the person who's going to use this thesis statement is going to analyze this character, Phoenix Jackson's determination, faith, and cunning. So this is a very short, but it's a great thesis statement. All right. Now, I found these online sample patterns for thesis on literary works, and I think that, look, I found 7 of them, and I'm going to post these in the folder for the 8th of September. Okay, and I am going to tell you that you are more than willing, more than more than welcome, goodness, to use these templates for your thesis statements. Why? Because why rebuild when it's already there for you? I'm not saying that you have to use these, okay? But here here's the template, and here's the example of that template. Here's the template. Here's the example of that template. Here is the template. Here is the example of that template. You get what I'm saying, right? You know, why rebuild it when it's already built? Okay, there's 7 of these. I'm not saying you have to use these, but they're there for you, okay? Trying to help you out, trying to help you make the best. Ooh, didn't mean to do that. Trying to help you out. Back to where I was, okay? Template, example, template, example, template, example, okay? Feel free, like I said, and these are in this video, but I'm going to post these by themselves as a page that says exactly this: sample patterns for theses on literary works. That's going to be in September 8th's folder, and you can use these. You can use the template. You cannot, I mean, we don't have any of these stories, so I'm not worried about you plagiarizing any of the John Updike Flannery O'Connor. I'm not worried about you using plagiarizing any of these examples, okay? But author, shows, develops, illustrates, title of the work, author, okay? Please, please, please feel free to help yourself using some of these templates, okay? Hopefully this will help you. We're not going to write our hook or our thesis on the 8th, but this is here to help you, and it will be here to help you when we do get to this part, okay? Have a great day.